Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're looking at Simply Elegant, the Speciality Designer Series paper. And in fact, the whole suite. The paper is absolutely gorgeous and it is double-sided. I've shown you this before, so I'm only going to sort of give you a quick sort of flip through, but you've got gold, you've got really lovely copper flowers with gold and silver accents. You've got this one, which is gold, silver and copper again. You've got this one, which is gold. You've got this one, which is gold with sort of little black dots on it. You've got this one, which is gold and silver. And then on the other side, you've got these lovely black and white. So this is my absolute favourite with the leaves, but there's all sorts of other patterns as well. So if you're into sort of the monochrome look, really works well for that. I've done a few bits with it, but today I thought I would just go through with you again where the actual suite is, because the suite is on page, let me have a look, right, the suite is on page 68 and 69 of the annual catalogue, and you have the stamp set. Let me just bring it in here so you can see. You've got the stamp set and the punch, which you can get as a bundle. You've got the beautiful papers, and these are some of the ideas, and it's really a pretty good price point, so it's something worth considering. And I thought we'd do something different with it. Now, if you're not into this paper, you can actually do it with any paper you want, and you can do it wherever you are. I want to try and show you a way, because quite often the paper that we have in the UK is a different size to the paper that we have that you have in America, and so sometimes measurements can be quite difficult. So I try and show you ways that it doesn't matter where you are. So the first thing we are going to do is to look at a standard card base. Okay, so your standard card base is your sheet of cardstock cut in half, scored in half, and that gives you your base. Now, if you are then doing a mat, you will normally have a mat that is 1/4 of an inch smaller. So cut yourself your mat 1/4 of an inch smaller. Then for this card, we are going to do what is called a book fold card. So if you line it up where you want it with the border, you can see you've got a bit of a space here. So what I tend to do is I will take it to where I have lined it up. Let me make sure that you can see this. Yes, you can. So I take it onto my scoreboard, put it where I want it, and then take the measurement from there. So if I take this piece on, which is going to go there, it is going to go the other way up. I can see that I want to do my score line in here at, I'm going to have it at 1 1/4 inches. Okay, so I can take this, I want it in on this side. So if I open my card base up, put it down to where it is on a line. Now, there are other ways of doing this, but if you're not particularly great on your maths and things and you want to do it, that gives you a line, and we want to do 1 1/2, so 1 1/4 inches down on there, and then we are just going to score that mark there. Okay, so we're going to score that down on here. Now, you might find on your card you only want to do it 1 inch, or you only want to do it, you know, you can do it whatever size you want. I'm just showing a way that will work for that you can work out easily wherever you are. Okay, now we need to just fold this back, and we can give it just a gentle score. Okay, then we are going to look at putting our papers on. So we've cut our paper, which is 1/4 inch thinner, and I want to have this very fancy piece down on here, but then I want to flip it over and have the other side on the other side, because I don't want it to be too patterned on both sides. So what we need to do is, to start off with, is we need to, for this book fold, we are going to glue this section in here. So what you need to do is you need to take your glue, and we're just going to glue down the whole of the edge. Always make sure that you do your, what I call the seams, because those are the pieces that are likely to open up. So just make sure, I'm coming to the end of this glue, so I've just got to be a little bit careful and not too much glue. And then you can seal this down like this, and with your bone folder you can glue it across. Now this you could do with any other form of adhesive, so whichever is your preferred adhesive. As you know, my favorite is the Tombow or wet glue, and so that then gives you your book fold. So now we are going to put this piece of, we need to make sure that we've got it the right way up, so let's make sure that we've got those on here so that both pieces will come the right way. So we need to put this piece in, and that's going to come down on the edge like this. So again, very easily with some wet glue. We can, oh come on, just got to have enough to do this card, and then I can get a new glue out. Always try and make sure that I use every little tiny scrap. So again, making sure that I've got it down on my edges, and then we can put this piece in, make sure we've got our flowers growing up the right way, and then we can take this down in on here and just make sure we've got it where we want it. Okay, so that's that piece there. Then we've got this piece to go on here. Now there are some really lovely embellishments and things in the catalogue, one returning and one new. So with this Simply Elegant suite, you get gold and you get silver twine. And obviously we've got the silver in this paper, so I'm going to use some of that later on for something. We also have returning, which I am so pleased about. I've used so much of this and it is my absolute favourite, the metallic mesh ribbon. It's 1.5 inches wide and you get 10 yards, which is a huge amount. Now I really like this because it gives a sort of a lacy look to a card. So I'm going to put a piece right down the centre here to just add that little bit of extra sparkle. So you can quite easily just cut it through. I want it to go over the edge, so I'm just going to very simply put it over the edge. I need to get my glue, so I can do that with my glue as well. So we want, this is going to be on this side, so I want to have this coming over, and I'm just going to tuck it in on this side. So I'm just going to take some this is Seal Plus, but any one that you want, and I'm going to put that over on there first of all. The nice thing is, because it's so narrow or so thin, it does work really well, and it doesn't, you don't have to put your card up on dimensionals, because it literally just tucks in, and as I say, it's very, very narrow. So now we can put this in on the card, and just make sure that you've, where the ribbon goes, that you've got just a little bit of extra glue on there so that it sticks down, because you will find that where you're going round any form of sort of ribbon, it can have a tendency to stand up. So I always put just a little extra in. This is quite thick paper because it's speciality paper, and speciality paper with the foiling and things like that on it always is a little bit thicker. So we can now put this down in on here, and I'm just going to line it up as best as I can, and then put that down as well. And again, easy technique, turn it over and give it a rub, because then you're not moving your hands across the ribbon and, you know, moving it about a bit. So as I say, just sort of do it that way, and then when you turn it over, you'll see that it's stuck on beautifully. So that's given us an extra layer in there. Then I have taken, so with this paper, some of the little bits that I had over, I did some fussy cutting. Now, I know some of you like fussy cutting, some of you don't. It's a fairly simple sort of shape, and I just wanted a couple of the flowers. Now, in the stamp set, you can actually emboss them if you want, but I didn't want to. Then I've taken the punch and very simply just punched out a piece in the basic white. So we're going to build this up a little bit, and I want to have this one, I think, in here. So I'm having it on the center, and that one coming in off on the side there. So I'm going to, am I going to put them with dimensionals and have some layers in it, or am I going to do it flat? Probably flat, I think. So I'm going to take this first of all, and let's take some wet glue. As I say, you can put it up with dimensionals if you want, but I'm trying to keep this fairly sort of simple and easy for the postage. Now, I'm not going to press it down yet. I want this up with the leaf coming up like that. So I'm just resting it because I want to put this one tucked in underneath. And if I put it all down first, I can't do that. So just tucking it in. And then this one is going to be tucked in underneath like that, so that then it comes down. So I can then put this down like that. And then I am going to, so let's stick that down properly. I am going to put this, I know I've got some glue on, I'm going to put that up with a couple of dimensionals. So let me just get my dimensionals out, and we'll put just a couple of these on. You don't need too many. So we'll have one there and we'll have one there. Okay, then we can put this in on here, although I do want to add the ribbon. Now, can I add the ribbon before or not? So this is the metallic twine, and it is quite wiry is probably the best word to use. Wiry or almost like corrugated, and it's fairly stiff, but it does mean that it actually ties quite nicely. So I want to put a bow through on here. So let's, more fingers and thumbs today. My fingers aren't working particularly well, but we'll see what we can do. Where are we doing it on this one? That way. Okay, so I'm just going to take that in here like that, and then I'm going to tie my bow through on here. Just tuck it through. You can see it is quite metallic-y, but it does work quite well. So I'm just going to cut this piece off because I know roughly how much I want now. So I can then just pull these corners in just a little bit, and we'll pull that corner in just a little bit and just tighten that one up. And then I'm going to put this in. I quite like the way it sort of has that wiry look, but if you want to straighten it down, you could always put a little bit of glue or something on it, but I do quite like it like that. And then we're going to put this in, just in on the center like this. So we've got the ribbon on, so I can put this down, and this can then just be attached to the ribbon on there so that it's not sort of going to catch too much. So that's our little ribbon thing on there. Then the only thing we need is a sentiment. I've got a best wishes here, and I would just put that in across on there with just a little bit of am I going to do it with glue and have it sticking up? No, I need a little bit of dimensional down on that corner. So let's make sure we've got, I need some small ones, don't I? It's all right, I'm rooting through my box for my mini dimensionals. Here we go. So on this, I want one on, if it comes that way, I want the mini dimensional on that side. You can use whatever sentiment you want. I've just chosen this one because best wishes goes with a lot of things, and I can then add some extras if I want to. So I could put a happy birthday inside or something like that. So we're just going to put this in over, and I'm going to do it where the join is because then that works just quite nicely. Put that in so that it just comes off. That's then just going to be adhered onto there. And you then have a pretty card, which is a book fold card. So as I say, put your sentiment in there of whatever you want. I don't tend to do my sentiments or decorate the inside till I'm actually ready to send, because then I can personalise it to the person. So, you know, if I want to put happy birthday, happy anniversary or any other sentiment like that, I can then put that in there and then just add something in on the bottom. But it's quite a fun fold. It stands like that, so, you know, stands quite easily. But it's called a book binding or a book fold. And as I say, I thought that that looked quite nice with that paper. So thank you so much as always for watching me and all your lovely comments. I do so appreciate them. Please stay safe and please stay well, and please be kind, and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.